Hey everybody, Osira here. It's time for the Rising 2024. So let's see what goes on with this thing. I have no plan and no idea what's coming. Let's go. Rising to the call. Of all the coincidences, you will hardly believe it, but I was just this very moment reminiscing of the time you lent me your strength, a 12-month past. You see, I again find myself in pressing need of an adventurer's aid, just as I did last rising. Oh, if only Locera were here, I thought to myself. And here you are. Well then, what do you say? Shall we clasp arms once more? Sure thing, boss. My thanks. Matter is this. I have been approached by a lady named Ayoyo who wishes to imprint her own inimitable mark upon the skies above Limsa Lomensa. I speak, of course, of the fireworks that illumine these rising nights. Learning of my contribution to previous year's festivities, she has enlisted me to her cause. We already have the ear of the organizing committee. However, Lady Ayoyo has expressed a strong desire to consult with a storied adventurer before finalizing her proposal. Come to the Yellow Jackets guardhouse at the base of the Coral Tower, and I will introduce you. All right, let's go. Okay, first thing I need to do is put the right HUD up. Okay, laziness. Hardly even started and I lost already. It's down. There we go. Let's see what she has to say. Lady Ayoyo, one storied adventurer as promised. That's me. Lesson of the 12 upon ye. Name's Ayoyo, Cannoneer, first class with the Yellow Jackets. It's an honor to have ye on board. Did I mention that it's the Yellow Jackets who are in charge of this year's festivities? Not only in decorating of these fair Lomensan streets, but in designing and constructing the fireworks that brighten the skies above them. Lady Ayoyo here is quite the savant in all matters incendiary and explosive, and so it has fallen to her to formulate a plan for the display's crowning glory. Me and the other ladies and lassies of the cannoneers whipped up a load of lovely little drakes, snakes, and devils for the Moonfire Fair. But more of the same ain't gonna cut it for the rising. 'Cause it's all about remembering those we lost in the calamity, ain't it? Them and theirs deserve something a mite specialer than a bunch of old bangers. An admirable sentiment, I'm sure. It would not do for our ode to such poignant memories to be aught less than memorable. Let us make this year's rising one of the citizens of this fair realm will not soon forget. Took the words right out of me mouth, dearie. Thing is, having hardly set foot out of Linza in all me days, I don't reckon I'm best placed to know what's going through the minds of the citizens of this fair realm. And so you would pick an adventurer's brains, one who has journeyed far and wide across this land we love, and knows it and its people intimately. Yet, before we call upon your particular wisdom, mayhap it would behoove us to seek out a wider range of opinions. Many and more look to the skies come rising night, and thoughts that run through their minds are no doubt as diverse. Let us learn them. Sure. Sounds like a plan. Mind if I join ye, dearie? Could do with learning some of these thoughts myself. Sure. Right then. Where's best to start asking around? Some place a lot of outsiders gather, I reckon. How about we meet in the Etherite Plaza, down in the lower decks? While you two are so engaged, allow me to continue our discussions with the organizing committee. I shall await you by the aft castle. Way to get there. Okay, laziness. Laziness is winning again. Okay. You see them lights down Alka's Alley, dearie? Decorations for the festival they are. Every year when the streets are all decked out for the rising, the art fills with, well, all kinds of feelings. Sorrow, pride, regret. But enough about me. We came here to find out how the other folks feel about it. Let's split up, head down the alley and ask a few likely looking customers each. We're on a schedule, Air, so don't go asking every single soul you see. 4 or 5 should do ye. I'll meet you down by the ferry docks when we're done. Okay, that's fine then. Down that way. Alright, let's go. Sorry, no time to talk. Welcome, welcome. What may I interest you in this fine evening? Ah, information is it? Well, if you really must know, the whizzing and banging that fills the air this season always takes me back to the time just before the calamity struck. A great festival was held to celebrate the reformation of the grand companies. People in the streets were hooting and hollering and setting off fire spouts, and all the ships in the bay, now bedecked in maelstrom colors, let loose their cannons. It seems so foolish now, knowing what was soon to befall us, but all that noise served a purpose nonetheless, drowning out the fear that ever whispered in our ears. It is my firm belief that the rising fireworks serve the same purpose even now. They present a vision of loveliness, of togetherness, that we might forget our fears and be given hope for a brighter future. Okay, let's find someone else. Somebody. Misty-eyed stargazer, looking up in the night sky. Can you see them too, my love? You're involved with the fireworks and want to know what I think of them? Well, just now I was wondering if they can be seen from far out in the offing. Do you know? I see. The reason I ask is that my husband is out there now. He meant to be back by rising night, but it seems the tide didn't turn in his favor. He was so looking forward to the fireworks. I do hope that he can see them from where he is, that we can share them together, no matter how far we might be. That is my only request to you, that you make the finale as bright and boisterous as you can, that all those who cannot be together this rising might still share in its message. We'll do our best. Let's talk to the middle-aged man. The streets are full of life, the skies full of fire, and the westerly winds filling our seafarer sails as it does our hearts. I couldn't have picked a better time to come home. You a sailor too, are you? Helping with the fireworks, you say? Good on ye, lass. I've a few memories of back then, if you've an ear to hear 'em. I'm a merchant seaman, you see, always sailing hither and thither across the waves. Was just back from a trip at Radzahan when the calamity struck. Everyone was looking up to the sky, and that loathsome lantern that hung low in it. Like most folk, I don't remember much of what happened in the days before or after it fell, but I'll never forget those faces. And that's what I love so much about the fireworks. You see the same faces looking up, but this time with a smile. Reminds you not only all the bad times, but how we got over them. Wow. Let's talk to her. All right there. Anything I can do for you? You're asking for people's thoughts on the rising fireworks? Heh. Would have thought a great hero like you would have better things to do with your time. But I suppose that's what makes you a hero, eh? Helping people out whichever way you can. Well, I'm like most people, I suppose. I think of those I lost. My parents, most of all. I wonder if they're watching too. Swim up from the bottom of the ethereal sea to see what all the crashing and banging's about. It's complicated, I suppose. I feel sad they're gone, but happy I'm not, and grateful for Bedarin saving me and so many others. If they are watching, I hope they can see me too. See that I'm doing all right for myself, that they might sleep soundly for another 12 months. Oh, okay, it's just down here. Sorry to keep you waiting, dearie. So, what have you found out? Hmm, same air. Was as expecting them to just like looking at the pretty lights, but it seems the feeling runs a lot deeper than that. The memories of the calamity still sit heavy on their hearts, but the rise in fireworks go some way to lifting that weight. So, any ideas for the grand display? What kind of thing do you reckon to help lift those spirits the most? Something that gives them hope for the future. Hope for a future, eh? That ain't a bad idea. Reminding folk that however dark the night, dawn is just around the corner. The rising ain't just about mourning those we lost after all. It's about remembering the struggles of those who survived, to steer us to a brighter future. Aye, that's it. That's what Limsa needs this rising. Ships, cannons, a departure salute, not just for the fallen, but for those setting sail for unknown shores. A vision of the past and of the future. An old bleeding armada filling Galadian Bay, lighting up the very heavens. Wouldn't want to watch that? That's settled then. Ah, the minstrel's gonna love it. He said he'd be up by the aft castle, right? I'll see you there. Back to the aft castle. You know, it's funny, we could have walked up there together. Let's see now. 1,500 weight of fire sand and 500 yalms from shore. Reckon we're gonna need more ships. Our intrepid adventurer returns, and positively bursting with inspiration, I take it. You got it. I see. A traditional seafaring salute, not only to the memories of the fallen, but to the future fortune of those who follow in their wake. A most fitting proposal, I'm sure. Thanks, to both of you for your hard work. But our work ain't done yet. There's a lot needs sorting out before we can put this idea into action. So much to do, so little time. If you wouldn't mind helping us a little longer, dearie, I'd be forever in your debt. Let me know when you got your loins good and girded. Consider them girded. A display of such grandeur is not merely a matter of crafting the fireworks proper. We shall require the cooperation of a great many people, several of whom may be less than disposed to offer it. We who are about to set sail salute you. Right then, let's get started, shall we, dearie? The plan is we're going to line up the old fleet of ships across the bay and have them fire a broadside into the sky. But before we go about finding our fleet, we need to get the plan approved by the organizing committee, and that means convincing Commodore Rayner. I'll take the lead, but I ain't exactly got the silverest tongue, nor much experience nobbing with the higher ups. If you who see me struggling, put in a word, won't you? Of course, milady. Your cause is ours. Thank ye, dears. Together then to the Coral Tower. Back to the Coral Tower. Which for me means more laziness. Because this is just a lot easier. Let's go. It's the game. Fall off the edge of the earth if I'm not here. Jeez. Commoner Rayner worked his way up through the ranks, all the way from rock bottom to the tippity top. He knows the working of the Thassalocracy in and out, so any flaws in our proposal, and he'll see right through them. Last I had the privilege of meeting with the Commodore was around the time of the calamity. I had been arrested for conspiracy to incite rebellion. Naturally, it was all a misunderstanding. Some other scurrilous soul had been singing songs of sedition. If not for Rayner and his relentless pursuit of the truth, I might still be lingering in the brig. He is a shrewd investigator who will brook no equivocation. Shall we then? Wanting to make the rising display special, I can fathom, but the sheer scale of this proposal is beyond anything I imagined. Ayoyo, need I remind you that the first duty of the Yellow Jackets is the keeping of the peace? Filling the bay with ships will not only disturb the daily workings of the harbor, but is sure to foment agitation among the commons. Knowing this, do you still mean to persevere with this outlandish plan? I do, Commander. Every Lominsan art, every Eorzean art, still bears the scars of the calamity. All that lost, that hardship, that struggle, it cut deep. But the rising ain't just about looking to the past, it's about looking to the future too. And if it's our duty to watch over folk, keep 'em on the straight and narrow, I reckon it's our duty to see 'em off on another year's journey too. Well put. I accept that your intentions are pure, but what of the logistics? I trust you have a plan as to who exactly will be providing and paying for this fleet of yours. Yes, Commander. We're going to petition the Maelstrom for the flagship, and the rest from, the Black Sails. Of course. One is wont to forget that those buccaneering souls remain bound to serve the Maelstrom in times of necessity. Lady Ayoyo would have us parley with the three great pirate captains and remind them of their civic duty, it seems. Aye, that's right. The pirates answered the Admiral's call back when the moon was falling. Fought and died at Cartano, same as the rest of us. When they hear about our plan to salute all those who fell and all those who didn't, I don't doubt they'll answer the call again. Hmm, I wish you all the luck in the world in recruiting those rogues to your cause. You shall need it. Very well then, allow me to arrange the parley. Should you succeed in this feat, you may consider all of my remaining doubts answered. I bid you remember that you go to speak with pirates, lawless marauders all. Pray that you do not say aught to offend them, lest we find ourselves with a mutiny on our hands. I shall have the Maelstrom summon the leaders of the three factions to the anchor yard. Pray go there and complete your preparations. We are to parley with pirates? Truly life is but a succession of unexpected events. Cheers for sticking with me, you two. I hope I can count on your support in the next set of negotiations and all. Of course, my lady. Alas, I fear the captains, those far-famed scourges of the seas, will prove rather less biddable partners than Commodore Rayner did. While Roswin of the Sanguine Sirens may be swayed by emotion, Kervalion of the Kraken's arms is much more mercenary mind. The executioners, meanwhile, value honor and glory above all else. If there is aught that unites them, it is a zealous spirit. Let us argue with passion, that we might inflame theirs. If it's passion you're after, I got that in bleeding bucket loads. But I might need you two to jump in again, cause me tongue decides itself in an half inch. Just say the first thing that comes into your heads, and I'll pick up after. Come on then, dearies. Let's head over to the anchor yard and get this parley started. Okay, anchor yard. Okay. A little laziness here. Oops. here in ages. Thanks for coming. The reason we asked you here is I, the Maelstrom summons laid it out for us loud and clear. You want us help you with the rising fireworks. And the answer is no. When my sirens fire broadside, it's to send the enemies to the bottom of the briny, not to paint pretty pictures in the sky for drylanders to gawp at. We've better things to be doing with our time. 'Tis a rare occurrence, to be sure, but I find that my opinion aligns with Rosewind's. Our time is precious, as I am sure is yours. Let us hasten to draw these discussions to a close. I shall put it bluntly. I see no profit in this endeavor for myself and my men. So unless there is anything else... Oh boy. You know, I'm not sure which one of these to pick. I kind of want to be a little mess with them a little bit. Okay, let's mess with them and see what happens. Why, it's a perfect opportunity for you to get busy with Rosewind. If you should require my men and I to shackle ourselves to the sirens, we should require even greater recompense. The sheer scale of the spectacle we propose would no doubt draw all the lords and ladies of the realm to gather in the city, personages of high renown and deep pockets. Aye, and if they saw you lot working and in and with the Maelstrom, it'd do wonders for your public image. Folks who normally wouldn't touch a pirate with the barge pole would be queuing up to do business with ye. I do believe you have a point, poorly phrased though it might be. To win legitimate business, one must project the image of a legitimate businessman. Sod your image, and saw anyone who's too lily-livered to trade with us. They can stick their barge poles up their backsides. What's in it for the sirens? Okay, I'm gonna mess with them some more. Kavion's in. Don't you want him in? Oh, geez, I'm messing this up. Sorry. Apologies to Yoshi P. What? What are you trying to imply? I'd rather cut me arse off with the rusty cutlass than have to spend another minute in that preen and pissant's company. Me and my girls are proper pirates. The Sanguine Sirens ain't all about the pirating life though, are ye? You run almshouses for the sick and injured and those with child. Keep themselves busy with odd jobs, such as come their way. Them's your hunters and the folks who've drawn to the city to see the grand display. Your quarry. Ah, I see where you're going with this. Get the girls to set up stalls selling food and grog and the like, and they make a killing, providing they add all the right permits from the Yellow Jackets. You're a shrewd one, you. Maybe I could lend them a hand myself. They do say the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach. What of the executioners? There is no dishonor in linking arms with Admiral Merriwib and the Maelstrom, surely. You, Yellow Jacket, I want you to tell me one thing and tell it true. This is Limsa Lominsa, the greatest port in all the realm. Ye could find this fleet of yours without our help. Yet you've come here begging for it. Why? Because I reckon you're the ones who need the rising most. The black sails only came together 'cause of Cartonel. He could have upped anchor and sailed off into the sunset. But no, he fought like demons on those cursed flats, made heroes of yourselves and martyrs. The way I see it, it's only right that those that lost the most when they stood to gain the least should be the ones to fire the salute to the departed. And a salute to the departing too. The calamity changed the lives of your pirates more than anyone. If anyone should be celebrating new beginnings, it's those whose new beginnings already begun. So, it's all for our own good, is it? I'm heading back to the Astalicia. Send word when you've hammered out the details of this display of yours. We'll see what we can do. Aye, aye, Captain. Can't rightly say no to you now, can I? We lost a lot of good people back in Cardinal. Let's send them all off with the bloody great bang. I will join you on one condition, that in your reminiscence of trauma past, you do not make a shameful spectacle of yourself. Pray do not force me to restrain you again. I never forced you to do nothing. You'll keep your hands off me, and if you want to keep them, you randy bastard. Quite the fragile flower, isn't she? Well then, I bid you adieu. My ships will not ready themselves. My hearty congratulations to both of you. It was my honor to play a supporting part, but it was your passion for the rising that swayed them. And breathe. Gods, I was so nervous I could hardly speak. Thanks so much for chipping in when you did. Could have never got them on our side without you. Right then, time to put the finishing touches on this plan of mine. It's gonna be wonderful, I just know it. Oh, and about your reward? I've given it to the minstrel. You can grab it from him. To new beginnings, lass, and may the navigator's breath ever fill your sails. Okay, let's see, minstrel. You did a great service, my friend, both for Lady Ayoyo and those who love the rising, myself included. For that I shall ever be grateful. I expect it will be still some hours before the preparations for the grand finale are complete. Mayhap we could wait together? Hanging with Yoshi P. I mean the minstrel, of course. The minstrel. Yoshi P. While we wait, would you care to hear a verse that has lately come to me? It is a song of celebration, of encouragement, for all those who sail for unknown shores. Pray lend me your ears. Greetings, warrior of light. This is a world that exists outside your reality. Could it be a dream? A flight of fancy conjured by your weary mind? Perhaps, or perhaps not. It is a pleasure to meet you again. As I have in the past, I beckoned you here that I might express my gratitude. The road we have walked has been long and winding, full of perils and pitfalls, but we have enjoyed every step in your company. We hope that you feel the same about this last great leap. With every adventure we undertake, the longer the legacy we leave behind us. Yet a lengthy history need not mean a foreshortened future. Many adventures yet await. We shall continue to chart a course into that great unknown, one that takes in all the diverse wonders this wide world has to offer, that your legacy might grow ever greater. To be certain, it would be less trying task to sleepwalk ever onward down the same well-furrowed path, yet to venture down paths untrodden, believing in the bright and glorious future that lies beyond them, is by far the more rewarding. By far, you people get this? This is aimed right at us, right? This is the gift that we wish to deliver unto you, the gift of adventure. And we pray with all our hearts that you will continue to walk with us. We thank you for joining us on this journey, heretofore and hereafter. Now, the time has come for this vision to end. Time for your eyes to open from this waking dream. One cannot know what fills the hearts and minds of those who look to the sky this rising night. Perhaps you and I will see very different images in those explosions of light and color. But one thing I know for certain, that right here, right now, we look to the same sky. And though the paths that lay ahead of us may lead in very different directions, sometime, someplace, they shall cross again. It's almost time for the display to begin, the consummation not only of our labors, but of the thoughts and prayers of the people of this fair city. A salute for the departed, and for those who set sail into unknown waters. Many adventures yet await you, my friend. May the navigator's breath ever fill your sails. From eastern sea to eastern sky, the sacred sun ascends, and voices stir of wind, of waves, of ropes, of sails, of friends, who, like the golden light of dawn that streams across the sea, set sunlit sail for foreign lands. May fortune follow thee. Her journey done, so sinks the sun below the western waves. Restir, of friends of yore, asleep in watery graves. Let not our voices raised in song disturb your endless sleep, but join us in our chorus and dream among the deep. An excerpt from an ancient mariner's song, a prayer for the safe return of those who sail o'er the far horizon, or the peace of those who sleep beneath those same eternal waves. It concludes with a wish that the voices of those whose spirits are stirred in anticipation of new adventure reach the ears of those whose adventures ended too soon, that they might be united as one, a fitting sentiment for the rising, methinks. And so I offer you my own heartfelt wish that even should your adventures carry you beyond the far-flung horizon of this wide world, we should meet once more in a 12 months' time and look upon the same sky together. Minigames. Okay, let's see what's going on here. First, let's see what we got. Oh, we've already did that. Brushed up cryo. She is not to be brushed off in the face of danger. Take a quick look at her. There she is. Okay, I'll play around with her a little bit later. Whoa, look at that. She pulled out her brush. Cool. Nice. Okay, let's find out who these people are that's talking about. A soft westerly wind blows across the anchor yard. You hear footsteps approaching. You turn and see. Oh, okay. Let's check it out. If it ain't me old pal Lucera, here to beg the old bird for guidance too, eh? Shijovi said you had an end in this year's fireworks, and not a bad job you made of it either. You mentioned job down in Hawker's Alley, eh? I sent her to pick up some stock for the winch. But did you know what she brought me back? Only a bottle of bleeding Bacchus. Paid for it out of her own pocket, she did, to thank me again for saving her life. Don't know why she's so hung up about it. The girl's paid me back 100 times over with all her hard work over the years. Felt a bit bad accepting it but well, a bottle of Bacchus is a bottle of Bacchus. Reckon it's you we should be thanking anyway for that marvelous display. All the ships in the arbor, the fire in the sky, it brought back a lot of memories. Some good, some bad, but every one of them well worth remembering. And we ain't done making them yet. You'll be off on your next adventure soon enough, I wager. Well, you can't rightly be striding out on an empty stomach now, can ye? Come up to the winch, and we'll fill your belly. Okay. Shoot. Running out of time. I think I have time to do one. This guy. I knew it was you. I could tell it from your bearing. Forgive me. It gladdens me that our paths should cross again, of course, and yet I find myself somewhat lost for words. Are you well? What brings you here? Is that so? I should have known it. It's very much like you to help others fulfill their dreams, to bring life and light into the world. I always liked festivals, as did all my brethren, though the celebrations have taken diverse forms over the years. All brought smiles to the faces of our children, and in turn us. Though it was our custom, nay, our duty, to watch over you from the phantom realm, one among us was so drawn to the music and the merrymaking that he adopted a mortal form that he might join you in your revelry. In every festival is imbued the hopes and dreams of mortal men. You implore the gods to listen to your pleas, and they hear you. They still do. Till next our paths should cross. Wook, wook, wook. Well, well, well. I come to feel the mayor's breath on me face, only to find the faithless besom whispering in the ear of another. How you been keeping, Lucera? I hear you've got you to thank for the rising display. Ayoyo's been singing your praises from Fisherman's Bottom to the Coral Tower. What? Surprised, I know, Limbs is a small place, lass. Hardly a day goes by I don't see a yellow jacket or several in the Bismarck, whether it's to sup on the finest food and wine this side of the sea, or to clap the irons on those who've tapped the task a touch too thirstily. Suppose an adventurer like you might have noticed, always coming and going as you are, but stick around the city for a while, and you'll see the jackets ain't just axes for hire. They're true friends of the common folk. Ayoyo was a retainer before the calamity struck, you know. Her master had a thing for fireworks. Every time they came back from their wanderings, they'd load her down with an hundredweight of spouts and spinners they picked up from God's know where. Day and night you'd see 'em down in the market ward, beaming that sunny smile of hers at every passerby, trying their damnedest to flog the stuff. Enjoyed the work, I reckon, but then Dalamud fell and she lost her master. Literally lost them. The way she tells it, it were as if the calamity burned a hole in her memory, and they fell straight through. Couldn't remember their face nor their name. But she never forgot the fireworks. The amount of gunpowder that went through her, and over the years, she couldn't help learning a bit about making things go bang. An apprenticeship with cannoneers later, she was a yellow jacket. So when I heard they were the ones who had been put in charge of the Rising display, I knew she'd be first to volunteer. The Rising, the fireworks, they mean a lot. And as a friend, they mean a lot to me. So thank you. Let's do another. Oh, Sarah, this is a coincidence. Rainer was just telling me of your role you played in putting the display together. I'm sure all those who gathered in my city to witness it were as moved as I. A salute to all those who set sail for new adventures. It shall surely resound in their hearts and give them strength and courage in the year to come. And a salute to the fallen too, was it not? Many and more lost their lives on the fields of Cartano, the men and women of the black sails, chief among them. I thank you for giving those who survived them this chance to put their grief to more productive ends. I thank you for giving the celebrations an unmistakable touch of salt too. This year's rising was not merely in Limsa, but of her. I look forward to seeing how future host cities follow our example. But for now, let us focus on the present. I'm sure I've kept you from your business for far too long already, and I must return to mine. I must offer my prayer to Lamia and be on my way. Fare you well, Lucera. I wish you safe voyages for the year to come. May the navigator's breath ever fill your sails. It's getting crowded in here. Okay, I think this is the last one. If it isn't my old mate Lucira. I heard you had a hand in the fireworks, but I thought you'd be long gone by now. I'm glad you stuck around, though. Gives me a chance to thank you for getting the executioners involved. Like, can't say you didn't run us ragged, getting the whole fleet loaded up with 10 tons of fire sand and ready to sail at a moment's notice. But it was well worth it in the end. Aye, there's nothing a pirate enjoys more than a bit of old pyrotechnics. The perfect send-off for shipmates past and present. Even got me in the guts, so it did. Most risings I spend at the bottom of a flagon, thinking of those we lost and salting my grog. But this salute's only gonna put the wind in my sails. I'm up in anchor tomorrow in search of an island sanctuary of my own, somewhere to bury me booty. Wish me luck, Lucira, and may Lamia's breath ever blow at your back. Okay, I think that's it. There's just one more thing to do. Let's see. Got a little cryo minion. And what's next? There's a housing item, I believe. I want to see this. Well, I guess I'll just have to find that later. Unfortunately, I'm out of time. So, anyone who has been watching this, whether VOD or live, thank you so much for coming along. I had a lot of fun doing that. I always enjoy these special events. The stories can be a little cheesy, but I tend to like them a lot. So, until next time, may the breath of the navigator ever be at your back.